afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of CouchCrunch podcast. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday, enjoying your weekends and such. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix announcing Kingdom Hearts 4. Just announced not too long ago, really recent. Doctor Strange, the multiverse madness, thoughts on the film, and just kind of want to go over a couple of topics on that. Disney Plus and finally, Disney Plus series MoonKnight. Just want to kind of get a lot like everybody's intake on that. So I hope everybody's going to be able to enjoy this episode. Guys, and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, it's Don. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I'm going to get into these topics.
Hey everybody, it's Amir here. Like Nick mentioned earlier, I hope everybody's having a good weekend, and yeah, it should be a good episode. Looking to have good conversation.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. So as far as Kingdom Hearts 4 being announced, I mean, there's just a couple of topics. I mean, I'm going to be the main guy really discussing this topic because I've been a Kingdom Hearts fan since obviously the early 2000s, since the series dropped for PS2. Huge fan of the series. I wasn't expecting another addition to the series, so this kind of caught me by surprise. New looks, definitely new looks. I was just informed by Don saying the games won't be released for a couple more years, so no idea if we're looking at PS6 graphics or what. It seems like it's going to be a long time before this game gets released, so just definitely I want to get into this a lot. Mir, what are your thoughts on it so far before I get into my tangent?
I got you. So for me, I never really was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Surprisingly, I think the very first Kingdom Hearts I played was the third one. Like actually, taking the time to play for a couple hours. Like I always played the older ones, but it was like briefly. I never actually owned those series like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. But visiting friends' house and stuff like that, I would play them over there. But I don't know, Kingdom Hearts 3 for me, while it was a good game, it wasn't anything like, oh my God, I find myself investing so much into. But I mean, it's what is it? What did it come out like 2017?
Yeah, roughly around 17 and 18. Yeah, around there.
So I mean, we're it's about time due for a new one. But yeah, I mean, based off of the trailer, because it's weird because I actually seen it. I think I don't remember when they posted it, but I think it was in the middle of I think it was in the morning sometime, early in the morning. I think it was like 2-3 a.m. or something like that I seen it on YouTube, and it didn't have a lot of views because I guess at the time that it came out. And I guess people were skeptical whether or not this was an actual thing, because I don't think that Square Enix officially dropped it on their page first. I think it was from another channel or something like that, but it started to gain traction. And then once IGN and GameSpot and all those other outlets got a hold of it, that's when we knew it was kind of official. Well, it was all because I think it was tied into some remake collection or something, but they also announced it as well. So it wasn't a solo thing where it was oh, we're giving you Kingdom Hearts 4. It was no, we're relaunching whatever collection we're doing, but hey, we're also working on Kingdom Hearts 4 too. So I thought that was a pretty good way to introduce it. But I mean, yeah, in general, I've never been the biggest fan of Kingdom Hearts, simply because I always want when I view the game, I always want to just play as Disney characters and shit. And that's not technically how the game goes. You play as Sora, the main protagonist, and everything, and you have help. Those are your allies. I always was under the impression that you get to play as those characters and fully control them. And in some circumstances you can, but but Don, I actually didn't know that it was going to be in development for a couple years. I thought that I was under the impression that it could come out next year or something.
Nope.
So for it to still be in development for a couple years, that's, I mean, the thing is that I think when this does come out, it'll be well into the PS5, and Xbox, whatever the case, we'll truly understand how powerful these consoles are, because at that point, like, we should be getting most games that's running at 4K 60. It shouldn't be anything less than that. Everything should be pretty much optimized and running for these systems. So we'll truly see what these systems are capable of.
Don, what do you think on it so far?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just, yeah, for me, with the Kingdom Hearts series, like, the way I played it back then, I only played like some of the first one, and that's like vicariously through my cousin, because he would have the game and he would play it throughout the whole series. So I only know like somewhat what goes on in the Kingdom Hearts series, like, you know, going to the different worlds and having the side characters Goofy and Daffy have your be your assistants and everything. But yeah, as far as this new one, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like you guys were saying that I got the information of it's probably going to be in development probably like, I'll say like 2 or 3 years. I'll say it'll probably be actually officially out by that time. But yeah, it from what I seen from the trailer, it definitely got me hyped. It makes me want to go back and play like the collection edition of like all the previous ones just to catch up. So by the time that one comes out, I'd be all informed as far as the story wise, what's going on. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it would turn out.
I like that a lot. Excuse me. I mean, I like both of your guys' intakes on like basically this new addition to, you know, Kingdom Hearts. Me being the fan of it, an extreme fan, I just really want to see, like, because I'm trying to remember how 3 ended. I just want to know, like, how can the continuation go from 3 to 4? I want to know how many years has passed by. How old is he now? He seems a lot older. You know, it's finally good to see that he's actually aging, because I thought they were going to keep him as a fucking 10-year-old boy for like ever. I mean, in 2, I think he was like 14. The previous one before that, I think he was like 10 or some shit. I could be wrong, but he was really a child in the first one. In 3, he's like more of an adult, young adult. So in this one, I don't know. He's probably reaching his 30s, 40s. Definitely not 40s. He's a little old.
Definitely not 40s.
Yeah. So I'm curious.
Like mid-20s, 20s, early 20s, mid-20s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, around there. So I'm just curious to see like how long has time went past. You know, I from judging from the trailer, I seen like it's in an inner city area, so that's awesome. I can't really fathom that enough, because I just think like that shit's fucking crazy for, you know, Kingdom Hearts to actually have like an actual today's society city. You know what I mean? It's not like a made up Disney world. So I don't know whose world that is, to be honest. Because with
it can create, I don't mean to cut you off, but it can create like, now this might be the first full on open world Kingdom Hearts, right? Like this could be a thing now. Because I mean, it's a whole, because you're right. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 was based off of like, you want the different worlds, and they were kind of like Disney inspired type shits. So now like this whole open world city, who knows? They might take it to like a whole open world gameplay type of feel. And, you know, that could be it'll be a complete transition for the series, but, you know, it could be a good thing, which kind of brings me to my next kind of thing. So like, you being the biggest like Kingdom Hearts fan, like, what are your expectations of like this new Kingdom Hearts 4? Like, what are some things that you're really looking forward to? I know you briefly touched on it, like you were kind of like impressed to see like his age transitioning and like him becoming more mature and stuff. But in terms of like, you know, gameplay, characters, overall, like the entire landscape of like this new game, like what are your expectations? Like, I want to hear it coming from like a Kingdom Hearts fan, because I wouldn't have any, because like I said, I haven't really played and don't follow the story too much. So for me, it would be as simple as like appreciating a new game, but from, you know, somebody who really digs into the story, I'm kind of curious to see what your perspective is.
That's actually an excellent question. I honestly want to see more of obviously the combat system. Like the combat system looks like it's definitely enhanced. It's not just like button mashing and shit like that, usually like how it was back in the day. But it seems like you have a new grapple edition, which is pretty cool. I wonder how that can be utilized. I don't think that, the button mashing is still a thing. Now, what I mean by that is like basically when you're fighting a boss or something, you have to hit like triangle or circle or anything like that they asked you. So it didn't seem like that was like a situation that they had to use. So the combat system I want to see enhanced a little more. They did great on Kingdom Hearts 3, which was like the combat system and really got better between 2 and 3. So
it's repetitive in 3 though, like because from what I remember, like well, you do get to do like combo chains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The basic level, the surface level of combat was kind of always the same, which was a good thing, but it got boring at some points. So like, I'm just,
It just like that was basically like it didn't change it up at all throughout the rest of the game. So I'm hoping like they can just add like different types of combat systems. Like hopefully it's not like the same formula, you know what I mean, throughout the entire game. Hopefully it transitions like being able to do different type of moves. And I don't know, it's just like I want to see like them actually do more than just button mashing or any, like you said, chain combos. At least change it up just a little bit. I also want to be able to utilize the side characters because he's always have companions, but like you said, you want to be able to experience what it's like to play those Disney characters. Like for once, I mean, I don't mind. Everybody loves playing as Sora. Come on. I mean, he's the main character of the game. But I mean, sometimes I think it'll be okay you can use them for a brief moment. I think, with certain side like attacks and shit like that, I think. But I want to be able to use them a lot more. You know what I mean? Like they've really never really utilized that command. So I want to be able to see that more, and hopefully they get rid of it. I know, like I said, the gummy ship is cool. Basically how they hop on the spaceship and they go to different worlds. That's basically how they do it. Hopefully they just get rid of that and just like, I don't know, being able to, if you're going to go to a different world, I don't know, just zap me there or some shit. Like, I don't know, like it wastes a lot of time, cause I don't know, a lot of people would probably get mad at me for saying that. Was saying like, how are you going to get rid of the gummy ship? That's like one of the biggest things in the game. You get to customize the fucking gummy ship. You have to go through, because originally how you go to different worlds, you have to actually go through space and fight off, a bunch of Heartless that's taking over that area in that world. And they have a lock on that world, so they locked it. So you have to actually fight your way through there and then actually unlock the key to open that world. Now, I understand that's cool, but sometimes can we just make it a little easier for you to just get into the world? You know what I mean? I just don't feel like doing this anymore. It's always been implemented in these fucking games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The gummy ship was not really my best favorite on the game. So I just wish like it was just easier to kind of get into the worlds. And also I want to see like, I don't know, more Disney characters. Like a lot of stuff has really came out in the last couple of years since Kingdom Hearts 3. So, and with Marvel being on there, can you imagine like them? I doubt it, but Marvel's on Disney technically. So I know it's a stretch, but can we get some Marvel characters worlds or something? New York?
Potential Spider-Man.
Yeah. Like, can we see some actual heroes and shit? That would be fucking cool. I mean, would that be crazy? And I doubt that Square Enix would like throw that into the game, but that would be cool to see. And
I mean, they do. They own that one Marvel game they made with Square Enix, so it could be possible, and then being tied with Disney and all that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think I just want to be able to see like, can they do that? That'd be cool. Like Mira said, like a Spider-Man world. That'd be cool. you know?
Or even like Star Wars, that'd be awesome. They like since they own Star Wars now, like that'd be crazy if they go like Star Wars world.
Yeah, they can. And I don't know, because of the main concept of the last two games, I want to say, because, you know, 2 was all about saving Kyrie. And, you know, that's the girl that he always had feelings for and stuff like that. I'm not sure about 3. I forgot what was the concept behind that one. It's been a while since I played it. 2, I remember very heavily. And I just want to know, like, it can't always be somebody abducting Kyrie and then he has to go on this this hunt just to try to, you know, save her and stuff like that. So because that's kind of been the concept of him trying to always save him, or like they're taking over the Magic Kingdom, which was another thing in part 2. So as far as the story continuing, I personally want them to go. It might be a stretch, but I just really want them to be real in depth with, like, change it up just a little bit, but I want to be sucked, like, reeled into the story a lot more, because Kingdom Hearts storyline has always been a good lore if you really follow it, because it's pretty much, you don't have to go in. It's not like Dark Souls where you have to kind of hunt for the shit and try to figure it out. No, it's right in front of you. You really pay attention, and it's actually really good if you actually are curious, like, what's going on, like, why am I this random kid that's been chosen to wield the Keyblade and have control over, having to be the savior of these worlds and stuff like that. They kind of explained that in the first one, why he was chosen. And he will always be the best Keyblade wielder. So, you know what I mean? There's multiple people out there in the story that actually holds Keyblades, but most of them always come after Sora because obviously he has the Keyblade, and, you know, he's always trying to help them. I mean, help the Disney characters, because they all know him at this point. That's why, like, even if they continue the lore in 4, a lot of the Disney characters are still going to memorize Sora because he's already made that mark on them. You know what I mean? Because he's been saving the worlds for years.
Yeah.
So that's what I want. So just to break it down into simple 4 things, I want simple: the story to be more reamped. And what I mean by that, like I said, like, just change it up from not just saving Kyrie or the kingdom's under attack again, so now we have to go back and deal with this shit now. Like, I want to know, how are they going to wrap up the series? Or if something bad is going to happen to Sora and now we have to play a different character. Like, when you had to play as Roxas, that was interesting to see. That's what I'm saying. I want to see more stuff like that. Like, we played a different perspective, because Roxas and Sora is basically the same person. They're just different. One's a nobody, which I need a whole episode to really explain on what those are. But it's definitely a different personality of Sora. But I thought that was very interesting. You know what I mean? See more stuff like that. That's better than just, okay, let me just go on this adventure to save the worlds and then help get information on where to go next. You know what I mean? Like, I want more of that stuff. The combat system, I want to see grappling hooks. That's cool. Any other magic stuff, which is great. I hope they have the Oath Keeper again, because that fucking Keyblade is amazing. I believe, I think that's the Oath Keeper, but it's like a specific Keyblade. It's basically like Dark Souls with the MoonKnight Greatsword. It's been in 2 and it was in 3. They brought the Keyblade in 3 again, but it's like extremely hard to get. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a specific Keyblade, and that shit is like strong as shit. And you get to wield both of them, which is always cool. I like the forms that they always have as well. So, so the combat system, the storyline, just to have, you know, different Disney characters are expecting heroes to be in there, and the traveling, you know, to answer your question, those are like my 4 expectations on this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those are definitely like achievable, expectations that they could definitely follow through with. So
Don, did you add something? I think you wanted to say something earlier.
Oh yeah, it kind of reminisced my memory from the first one when you were talking about his other half of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be interesting if they were to broaden that out in this new one to go more in depth with that character, the other half of him.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, the thing is Roxas, I believe he disappeared into it's because it's such a long time ago, but he disappeared in 2 because he finally awoken, which was when Sora awoken from his slumber, he pretty much like, since basically if anything were to happen to Sora, I believe Roxas will come back. He's like another version of him. So
Gotcha.
If he happens to get hurt or he's in a coma or I don't know, something happens, I believe that Roxas can come back. But when Sora is basically awakened, he's with him all the time because they're the same person. So that's the only time, yeah. But that would be cool. But that's why I'm saying that those, to touch up on that type of storyline, like, yeah, I want to see more of that.
Yeah, and I did see like what it has to do with this new city setting that we're seeing from the preview. I'm seeing it's called like the afterlife world or something like that. It's like a underlying theme that's, I guess, been throughout the series from what I'm hearing from like other fans of the series. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do with this more reality setting than being based in like a city and dealing with real people.
What was it again? Afterlife?
Yeah, like it's kind of like an upside down world in a way. It's like what I heard explained.
So now you got me kind of hyped because I'm thinking like, I gotta remember how 3 ended. See, now I gotta go back and play 3 just to see like how did it end it? Because did he go back into his sleep? Because I feel like when he woke, remember he was, you remember the trailer, he's waking up like talking to somebody, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, all right. So if he's in a sedation, kind of want to know like what happened. See, now I'm like, yeah, now I'm hype.
It's gonna be interesting, but they're gonna take it.
Yeah. And where the fuck was Donald and Goofy going? You know?
Yeah, there's like a dark realm. Like
yeah.
Limbo or something.
So maybe they're trying to. That's what I'm saying. Something's always happening to Sora in between of the games. So they always have to find out what, like, to go find him. They always have to go find him somehow. Like, I don't know what happens to him all the time. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
It kind of reminds me of like those scenes, like sometimes where you see like those shadow people. I forget the name of those.
Heartless.
The Heartless is like, you know, that one realm in the game. I believe in the first one, you go into like the dark place and you just see nothing but the Heartless everywhere, and you're going up like these staircases.
Yeah, yeah. Because on their beach, right? I don't know if you played the first one, but on the beach, like that's when the Heartless tried to attack him, and they just kept spawning everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where Goofy and Daffy's at. They have a dark realm.
Yeah. I always remember how you ran into them at like in that world, because he actually like bumped into them and they was like, hey, we're on this journey to go save the king, which is Mickey. So, you know, they basically teamed up, and ever since then, like they just been sticking with him.
Right.
Those are his ride or die homies.
Yeah.
So I have high expectations of this game. Now, I know I exaggerated when I said PS6 because Don said years, and I was like, okay, so, you know, by 2026 and 7, you know, that's when the end of PS Life era is going to be done by then. So, you know, I was like,
it's probably going to be like 2 years, I'll say 2 or 3.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get the PS5 Slim and Pro. So.
Yeah, this one probably be Alternatives.
Mary, you have any other takes on this topic, or you want to move on to our next one?
Nah, I don't have anything else on this one.
All right, we'll move on to our next topic. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness. Thoughts on this film? I think that this film is going to be groundbreaking. I've been a fan of Doctor Strange for a long time. Now, obviously, I don't think that this movie lures any of his comics. This is just its own thing. I think it's a continuation from the Spider-Man movie, the No Way Home, right? No, it's right. No Way Home.
Yeah, I think it's a direct sequel of that.
Yeah, because I'm curious to see, like, when he trapped him in that mirror dimension, I'm thinking, like, is he still trapped there? Is that why, like, the whole multiverse kind of shifted? Because I remember when Spider-Man did that thing with the cube, like the device thing and shit, he did something. Even though at the end of the movie, no spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, definitely you can stop this podcast now and just go check it out. But what he did at the end of the film was that he fixed reality, right? That's what I thought he did, and it seemed like it worked. But apparently, I don't know what happened. Like at the end of the credits at the movie, at the end of that movie, he was saying like the whole multiverse is breaking down. So I was like, what the fuck? So I don't know.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, not to cut you off, but like that scene where Green Goblin, he threw his bomb inside the cube that warps time, and I think that had something to do with it. That still altered. Doctor Strange, he erased everybody's memory of Spider-Man, but everything went back to normal outside of that. So that's like kind of where, from what I remember, where it ended off. That.
Okay, I got you.
I think it's still.
So, but my theory is, I think he's still trapped in there. I think he's still trapped in that mirror dimension, and whoever came out of there, which obviously it looks like Doctor Strange, isn't him. I don't know. It's just a theory. Because obviously our next question on this topic is like, thoughts on who can be the main antagonist of the film. And it just looks like himself. It's like another version of himself that he's battling. I don't think a lot of people keep saying it's Mephisto. Mephisto does not, I don't think he's a shapeshifter, because in the comic books, if you really read them, it's like, I know obviously the movies and comic books, they always make up their own shit. They don't really stick to they try to, but then they add their own flavor onto it. But I don't think it's Mephisto. Mephisto he's not a shapeshifter, so I don't believe that he would be a fucking another version of him with a third eye. You know what I mean? So I think it's just him from another reality, another version of him that he has to battle, which is interesting.
Could be a doppelganger, right? Like I don't know if that's the term for Marvel. I know DC refers to them as like doppelgangers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, it just seems like that this movie is a small piece to an overall bigger picture. Like, because they talked about the what was it, phase, the next phase of the Marvel movies or something like that.
Yeah.
And Strange, the madness was definitely in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everything that we'll learn from, because that's how I felt about the Spider-Man too. Like, I feel like the Spider-Man, the Tom Holland series, while they were good Spider-Mans, I feel like they were just an overall a small piece of what the MCU is trying to like unveil. So I feel like this is how Doctor Strange is going to be too. Like, it's just going to be another movie that progresses all the back history of all the other Marvel MCUs, and it's going to be an overall it just leads on to the bigger picture. Because like we see from the trailer, like Scarlet Witch is going to be in here. I believe some characters from Shang-Chi, I think. They were in the trailer too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Oh wait.
So. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it just feels like it's a small piece to a bigger picture. And that, because like we don't know who the main antagonist is going to be, but even whether or not if there is, because like for example, we're saying that Doctor Strange is fighting himself. Even if it's just that simple, it must lead to a bigger picture that we'll see later down the line.
Right.
Like I feel like Marvel has it mapped out to where they're definitely, because everything connects with each other, right? Like there was never a thing like, I feel like, I don't know how much they addressed it, but like isn't a lot of the Marvel stuff on Disney connected to because I mean think about it, if Scarlet Witch is connected to the MCU, everything else has to be connected, right?
Right.
So if Hawkeye is connected to the Avengers and him losing his family and thoughts and all that stuff like that, and then finding Kate, that's all connected to, everything. So overall, I just feel like it's all going to connect to something big. I personally feel like later down the line, like once the movies and newer characters and other characters get sequels and stuff, I feel like the main villain could be Galactus. We could
Can
see
you imagine? Oh man,
united thing. Like they could be. That's what I'm saying. This could be just the beginning stages of like their overall, like what they're trying to present to us. Which it could be a year, 2, 3, 4 years from now, whatever the case may be. But now something could lead to that.
Now, what phase is this? Because I'm not. If only Alex was on this episode, because like my man dives really in depth with like how the MCU goes. Because I know there was like different phases for like Avengers, the Avengers movies, and the one with Thanos being in there. I know there was like different phases for each one, but apparently this Doctor Strange one is the jump starter for the next phase in the MCU. So I don't know which phase are we going into now. That's the biggest question.
So we're still in phase 4. I'm looking at it now. So phase 4 consists of, I'll go over some of the movies that's in here. So Black Widow was in phase 4. Shang-Chi was in phase 4. Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor sequel, which is Love and Thunder, Black Panther Part 2.
To be honest, I always forget about Thor because like I'm not saying he's not important, but I just don't keep like I don't really focus on him. Like I'll be like, oh shit, Thor's coming out with another one. Fuck.
So mind you, so these are all movies that I'm talking about right now. So like Captain Marvel 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Blade, there's supposed to be an upcoming Blade movie for next year. Quantum Mania, this is Ant-Man and the Wasp, another sequel to that. And then there's talks of a new Fantastic Four being rebooted.
God.
But that's just the Marvel movies. In terms of Disney Plus, most of these we've already gotten, like WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. We got the What If series. So some of these are a little bit newer. So we got Miss Marvel coming. We already got Hawkeye.
When is that dropping?
This image that I'm looking at here was from last year. It said that it was supposed to drop late last year, 2021, but that's obviously not true. So probably sometime either this year or next year.
Gotcha.
So there's She-Hulk that's up there, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, which I'm really looking forward for that one.
Is that the one with? Is that the one with Shield? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then there's Ironheart. There's Armored Wars. There's I Am Groot. And then there's Guardians of the Galaxy, a holiday special.
Yeah, that's going to be like way down the line, though. I think that's like one of the last ones.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're in phase 4 right now. It's supposed to last for about 2 years, 2021 to 2023. So, like I said, I feel like Strange of Madness is just a small piece to the overall bigger picture of phase 4.
I'm just so curious, like, where is it going? Like, I want to know what's the end credit to the whole thing. Because I know, like, the whole multiverse is, like, breaking down. So, but I was always curious. I was like, why did he needed the help of Scarlet Witch? But then again, it's like, it makes sense. It makes total sense. Like, they're two magical beings that just basically have to go against like, I don't know, all the dark forces. I think that's fire. And,
yeah, I think.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I was about to say, I think it's a reason why they put, WandaVision on Disney Plus. I think it's going to tie in some way why they put Scarlet Witch in there. Because I guess what it had to do with the series of it being like in dimensions and like kind of breaking reality. And from the smallest parts I've seen in the series.
Right.
So I wonder if that's going to tie into this new Doctor Strange movie.
What I seen from the cast, and I seen this online, there's only one downside to the movie. It's like I remember the guy said from word, we wanted to give the audience what they wanted. They just not going to know what to expect. So from what he's saying is that somebody's going to die in the film. And I'm curious to think who can it be? Not Doctor Strange, of course, but can Wanda die? That's going to be crazy. Because he's saying like I don't know. It's just from that, like from him saying that, it just gave me a vibe like, hold on, who's going to die in this film? That's going to be fucking crazy. If Wanda dies, I'm going to be like so hurt because she's, I love Elizabeth Olsen. She's a great actress. She executed Wanda Maximus amazingly. I don't think nobody's ever done it like her, like to really do that character well. And she's been doing it for a long time, since Age of Ultron days. If she passes, man, that she'll be fucking crazy. You know?
Yeah, that'd be an impact, losing a big member like that.
I mean, because think about it. Like, we haven't had a tragic death in a Marvel movie since fucking Iron Man. Because, I mean, Iron Man was like the most hurtful fucking character to die. Besides Spider-Man, when he was disappearing when Thanos in the very first one. What was that called again? I always forget that one. The Avengers and the Infinity War, right? I think.
Oh yeah, Infinity War.
Yeah, so because Endgame is the second one. Yeah, Endgame is the second one. So Infinity War. So yeah, I remember when Spider-Man was like, being he was disappearing, and everybody was like crying, like everybody was upset that he was like he didn't want to die. But the very one that really had an impact on the MCU was Iron Man, for sure. So I don't know if we're gonna have.
He started, right?
Yeah. So it's like for us to go through that again. I don't know. That would be crazy. As much as I don't believe him, because this doesn't seem like one of those films that's going to be like, it's going to be huge, but it's not going to be like Avengers huge. You know what I mean? I think they're going to save that for like one of the big projects whenever like they have another Avengers movie, like they all have to assemble together, fight a war like that. But
going off what Mir was saying earlier, it makes me curious now seeing that Fantastic Four is on the list of movies coming out. If it's going to lead into like a Galactus enemy, fighting a big force like that.
I'm not even. I mean, I like the Galactus, but I don't know if I'm being biased here. I just don't like the Fantastic Four.
Every time they come out of Fantastic Four, they end up fucking it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if I want to see another one, but if I guess like if they get the right writers, and because it's not the actors, some people just be like, oh, it's just the way they kind of bring out the characters and shit like that. I don't think it's always the actors though. I think it's the writers that tell the story. It's just bullshit. Yeah.
I think to come and play.
Yeah, it's not always their fault. You got to keep that in mind. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, he did that shit terribly. Like with Morbius, like it's not Jared Leto's fault. It's the writers. Like,
yeah, they keep getting the shitty writers.
Yeah,
Sony too.
Fuck, I feel bad for them sometimes because it's like then they get labeled as like this corny actor and shit, and all they're trying to do is just do the best. Like they do their best. Give them some slack, But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, like Jared Leto isn't the best example of like you know, like he has a bad like controversy based off of the whole Suicide Squad Joker shit. Like everybody deems that as like one of the most. So like to an extent, it's like yeah, like some of it is the writers, but at the same time, you do have to be the correct. Like you're like you have like you being an actor, you have a certain level of not only skill set but back catalog that's associated with your acting skills. Right. So like, and that's not true for everybody. Like Joaquin Phoenix, right? Like he's never played anything like the Joker before, but you know, the writers they've written it very well, and it's like he executed the role super like amazing.
Yeah,
is that first of all, I don't think Joker should have even been with the Suicide Squad because Joker's a solo dude. Like, yeah. So to implement him with someone else was kind of stupid in the first place. And then it's like Jared Leto is not really like it just didn't fit him anyway. So it was like now I can see why, you know, because this is the thing. People are always going to remember, you know, when you have a shitty moment. Like everybody's going to remember that. Like no matter how many more roles Jared Leto gets, if it's anything involving like comics, everybody's always going to bash him for the Joker shit. Now everybody's going to bash him for the Joker shit and the Morbius shit. So it's like, at this point, it's just like, get him out of the MCU and the DCU or just fucking just go and do some other shit. Now, you're right. Like, it's sad because, like, he does what he needs to do. Yeah. He does his fucking job. Yeah. But he's just not the right fit for these characters.
So do you think, like, someone should tell him that? Or, like, or is that, I think that's ultimately his decision, right? Or unless he signed a contract.
It goes both ways, right? Like, if somebody offers him a position to play a specific character and they're talking them out amongst the money that meets his requirements, you know what I mean? Like he's not going to turn it down whether, you know, fans like his positioning or not. Like he's not going to give a fuck about, like, imagine him playing Mr. Fantastic or some shit like that. He's not going to care about whether fans agree with him getting that role or whatever. Like it's a business thing. Like that's what it comes down to.
I think somebody should tell him, like, I don't think
I'm pretty sure he's aware of the Joker, and after seeing this Morbius shit, I'm pretty sure he's aware. Yeah, but again, it's all about a check. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody was paying you fucking hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever the case may be to do a role, you're not going to care about whether or not, like, if people think you fit the role or not. Like, somebody's paying you to play this character. You're gonna do what you need to do.
It's so difficult though because, like, I also don't want to hurt my reputation though. I know it's about the money, but like I just don't want to be labeled as that guy. Then it's like if I really wanted to go for like a character and you know an agent reach out to me, or you know, if you had like he's
already locked in, so he's Morbius. They can't cast him as another character. Like,
no. I'm saying like it. Just speaking hypothetically, I'm saying like if I had an agent, if I already did two shitty fucking characters. And they had called me just for like another character. I'll be like, look, I got so much backlash. I don't even know if I want to do this shit. That should be my opinion. It's not all about the check, man. It's about how you execute it. That's how I look at it.
Man, you can always redeem yourself. Like, take for example, Michael B. Jordan. He was in the Fantastic Four. That flop. You know how that went, but he redeemed himself in with Black Panther being the other character.
Yeah, that's a good one though. He did redeem himself very well.
So you can always make a turnaround. It just depends again, like on the writer or whoever's writing your character or the script.
I know I can't speak too much on Morbius. I'm still gonna give it a shot. I still want to see it just to give a really good intake on it because I feel like I'm bashing it. And not really giving it a chance. So I want to see it for myself when I get the chance. And then I guess we can come back on the show and be like, look, I finally see it. I see what people are talking about and I can hit it from like different angles. So.
Well, hold on. Because I do want to go back on that Michael B. Jordan thing real fast. So like, it's like, because I'm only trying to correlate it to like Jared Leto, like, Michael B. Jordan, I would assume, is a much bigger actor than he is. Like, he's played more popular movies than Jared has, right? Like, he has the Creed series. He was in Black Panther. Like, he was in the What If. So he's in a lot of Marvel shit, right? The thing is that, like, yeah, we're talking about like redeeming yourself as an actor. But the thing is that Morbius is technically already set in the MCU. So, like, the Fantastic Four, when that came out, that shit had nothing to... That was a standalone. Like, it's not canon or connected with the MCU. So, it's kind of like, you know, he had a chance to redeem himself, especially, you know, playing Black Panther. But he doesn't have, you know, Jared doesn't have that option. He's already, again, that's why I say, like, we discussed it last time on the episode, like, Morbius was it was a movie that should have been turned into a TV series.
Yeah.
Because if you ever notice, like, bro, there's like 5 versions of the damn Fantastic Four reboots. And it's like, none of them shits are actually really canon. Like, that's why it's like, you know, I would, like, Chris Evans was in the original fucking Fantastic Four, like, but nobody remembers that, right? Because it's not really canon. Everybody knows Chris Evans for Captain America. So it's like, I don't know.
Saying, like,
it's weird, like.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I was saying more in the sense of, like, somebody, you know, going from one shitty character to, like, another character to redeem himself in there, not just, like, from Marvel to, you know.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Jared wouldn't be able to do that. Like, there's no way for him to redeem himself because, like, Morbius is already connected with the MCU. So, like, they can't recast him as somebody else because who's going to play Morbius? You see what I'm saying? Like, with the Fantastic Four and Michael B. Jordan, the Fantastic Four that came out in 2015 wasn't connected to the MCU. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. No, I'm not. I wasn't just talking in the scope of Marvel. I'm just saying in general, like, any kind of superhero. Like say if, like, The Boys came out with, like, the movie, like, The Boys from Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, say if they were to...
Sure, he can do that, but people still gonna be like, yeah, well, he was the shitty ass Joker. So, like... Yeah,
of course, that's always going to scar him throughout his career. But I feel like I just can always have that chance of redeeming himself. And he has played in bigger roles, like in Blade Runner, that was like a real big movie. Like, even before he played in what was it? The other superhero movie. Oh yeah, the Joker. Yeah, that was, he played in. I think a couple other things he played in.
His Joker was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
But I'm definitely excited to see, like what's Doctor Strange going to be like. Can't wait for the film to come out. Hope you guys enjoy your time seeing the film. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. If you ever decide to comment on the show, we have our Twitter up as well, so you guys can send us tweets if you want, on CouchCrunch. Definitely want to hear your thoughts on the film so we can kind of dig into that on our next episode and kind of answer some questions. And again, like I said, I mean, I have a high expectation of this film. I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan, so curious to see. I just don't want no characters to die if that is the case, because he just gave us like a little spoiler. You know, he was just like, we gave the fans what they want, but they just didn't expect what's coming. So
I necessarily don't mind if they kill off a character, but just do it in the right way for it to make sense during the storyline of where they're trying to go with it. That's all I want to see.
Yeah. I agree. All right, we can move on to our next topic. Disney Plus series MoonKnight. I keep saying Moonlight. Fucking idiot. My thoughts on this series. I fucking love it. Okay, I didn't know jack shit about Moon Knight because that was one of those characters that I never really read up on. So it was curious. I was curious to just check it out because, you know, obviously they were getting a lot of great reviews. I've been hearing it everywhere. IGN's been in my phone like, yo, check this shit out. So I was like, all right, let me just sit down and watch the shit for once. Checked it out. Really great. And what I like about it is just like my man Oscar Isaac, great fucking actor. I know this is not relevant, but my man is Spanish. Kudos to him. I didn't even know he was. I thought he was actually like Indian or something. So nothing against any of those race, but I just thought that was really cool. So phenomenal actor. I think they chose the right actor to really bring this character to life. I had no idea of the split personality thing that he has between two characters. I know I'm terrible. I just don't remember the characters' names that, you know, with the two split personality things. I think it's Mark and it's
Steven.
Mark and Steven. Yeah. So I love Steven. I love seeing the side of Steven. He's so fragile and, you know, innocent, and he just don't want no problems. I like Steven a lot, but then you got Mark that just like fucks shit up, and you know what I mean? He was just like trying to find, like, I remember when Steven was just he was living his life and regular, you know, just going about his days, and just randomly woke up in like this random strange city area, desert area and shit, I guess you would say. He was just trying to figure out, like, he's been having time gaps. Like, he just would go months without even noticing what happened. So I was like, oh shit, what's going on with Steven? So they kind of, you know, as you watch the episode more, you kind of really dive into like how things have been doing that. And it was actually Mark taking over each time he went into like this sort of a sedation thing. And I just like the fact, like, this, I thought the suit, he finds the suit, because obviously we've all seen MoonKnight in his suit. And I just thought that he was just a regular enemy with no abilities, no super strength. Apparently he has super strength. You know what I mean? He has super strength of the gods, you know, and that's where it starts getting really interesting, I thought, because I am a fan of Egyptian gods and stuff. So I thought that was cool as shit. Like, I've never seen a character that really gets his abilities from being the avatar of a god, that a fallen god at that, because the god that he is serving has been banished from the other gods. So MoonKnight, I forgot the god's name though. Mir, do you happen to know his name?
What guy?
The god of the moon, because that's where he gets his power from, because Mark is the avatar of that god. So I forgot the god's name though.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So the story, the lore goes that he's been banished from the set of gods, I guess, from doing too much with humanity. He had multiple avatars throughout centuries or years, and they all failed him. So I guess like he kept moving on to different characters until he found like the perfect disciple to really carry out his mission. And his mission is to prevent the bad god. I forgot her name, but like the god from being arised from, I forgot the other actor's name too. But basically the concept is like he just wants to prevent that god from being awakened. Because I guess if that god awakens, a bunch of destructions and stuff like that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, with the suit, I thought, like, not to go all over the place, but with the suit, I didn't know the suit was just like given. It just comes on him when he summons the suit. It's like a summoning, which is super dope. I thought it's a suit that he just found and shit. No idea. I thought he was just a regular character that just was like, sort of like Batman. No diss on Batman, but just like a guy in a suit that just was super smart, or, you know, he has some type of intelligence and shit, and he has guns. you know, because in the character in Marvel Contest of Champions, he just had guns, right? No. He has a fucking stick, right? Like he fights with the stick.
Yeah, MoonKnight.
Yeah. So, he has guns in here too. So it's like that's cool. And then he has these weird moon blade things that he tosses around and shit like that. And he can see like the fucking jackals. Now I thought that was interesting too. That normal people can't see what he sees. That's fucking cool. Like pretty much like. I'm guessing he's seeing like another world that a lot of people can't really see, but until Marx's wife got hit by the jackal, then she realized like, oh shit, there's actually something there. So that was really cool to discover there. But like I said, for the most part, I think what's interesting about this is just like I said, like it's dealing with Egyptian gods. The split personality thing, I think that's interesting. We never had a character that had like two different personalities like that, and they have to actually work together to do like the challenges that they go through. Because I remember they was trying to
technically a bit, but outside of that, I don't think anybody else.
Think about it. I don't know if there's ever been like a Marvel character like that.
Yeah, outside of the Hulk, like that.
Well, Legion was another one too, but I don't know. A lot of people didn't like Legion. Legion had like fucking, I don't know. He was all over the fucking place. I remember watching Legion. It was like, what the fuck is going on in this series? He was just.
You could say Venom too, a little bit. Venom, is that split?
Well, no, because I think the symbiote, it's its own thing. I don't think that's a different personality. I think it's its own living creature thing. I think with Mark and Steven, it's literally two people in one body.
Right. But you know how like the Venom he can hear him in his head sometimes when he's in his regular form.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
Okay, yeah, I see the comparison, yeah. But I just like that. I like that feature a lot, that they're able to work through the challenges with themselves. And also what's interesting too, when you see the suit being summoned with the cape, that's actually Isaac's Oscar voice. But when he puts on the regular tux and the regular like the tux suit and the regular like the regular suit, besides the one with the cape, that's actually his brother's voice, his actual brother in real life, his voice being translated into that form, which is cool. I like that. I think that was unique. Huh?
Oh no, I was just saying that's an interesting thing.
Right. Like I think that was cool. Like a lot of people I don't think really cares, but yeah, I mentioned I watched a lot of interviews on how the show was made, and he was like, it was really good to work with my actual brother on this project. So I'm glad that he had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Speaking of like his different between Steven and Mark, like with me with this, like I'm liking the series so far. I'm only on episode 2, and for what I see, it's definitely is an interesting take on like the Egyptian gods and dealing with the different setting, with it being like a UK setting it's supposed to be taking place in between the UK and Egypt, right? Yeah. So those are like settings I haven't seen tackled in like a superhero settings at all. So it looks like it's gonna be an interesting adventure to see where it's gonna go, especially him going back into his past. Because from what I'm gathering so far in the story, is like he had like a past life that Steven's not aware of, that Mark had taken over for a couple years with his wife, and they went on like a bunch of missions and everything else. And it's interesting that Steven's trying to catch up to what Mark has done in his past, and his his past is kind of coming back to bite Mark in the ass. I mean, Steven in the ass, because it's like whatever Mark did in his past is coming back to haunt him with the little medallion piece that the villain is trying to get from him to summon like I think it's like an alligator or a crocodile god lady that the villain is trying to summon or whatever. I believe I forget the name of that deity, but yeah, it's an interesting concept though to see
right
where it's going to go.
Like I had a conversation with my actual coworker at my job, and he even said he goes and says, "You know, it's a great question." I go, "What's up?" He was like, "On MoonKnight, since the god has been banished." Because again, no, I mean, if you haven't watched the show, you might want to stop right when we were just talking about, like, as soon as this topic was brought up. But on episode 3, the god was banished by the other gods, so he was turned into stone. So a great question that my coworker asks is, like, since he's banished,
I think you should stop right there because, like I said, there's a lot of people who probably didn't get to episode 3 yet, so I would just stop there.
Okay.
Stop it. Because you don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll stop right there. So
it's too late now. You said too much anyway, but I would just stop you.
Yeah. I apologize, guys, if you guys haven't watched it yet. Again, like an overall review on the series itself, I think it's really cool. It sucks that it's only going to get 6 episodes, like the rest of the little mini series. Can we potentially see him in a film? I would like that very much. Because I would like to see Oscar Isaac actually playing this character a lot more, not just like mini series or even a season 2. You know?
Yeah.
So, see, I think they did well with just bringing him because now, but that's what we're going to do from going forward. They didn't pull a Morbius. They did, instead of making a film for fucking, for Moon Knight, they was like, let's bring him into a Disney Plus series first. And then we can probably think about bringing him to the picture. That's what I'm going to do going forward. They didn't pull a Morbius. They did it right. So for sure. Anybody else has any takes on it?
Yeah,
you go, Don.
Yeah, I was just about to answer a question that Nick was asking earlier. The god that he takes after as a persona is a Kanutsu, the fist of the fist. That's what it's called, Kanutsu.
So you're saying that's the name of the god that they're trying to awaken, right? Or no. That's the moon god. Okay, gotcha. Kanotsu. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Kanotsu is like, I'd never heard of that actual. I don't know if that's made up or not, but all the rest of the gods that was there, I mean, Anubis, I know a few of them, not off the top of my head, but like all the rest of the guys that were in that trial on episode 2, which I'm pretty sure everybody's seen that episode already. They were all, those are real, but I don't know about the Moon Knight god, the moon god. I think that was different. I think that was just like an actual character. I mean, a character that they just created.
Yeah.
So, anybody else have anything else touch up on the series?
I mean, you kind of pretty much said everything that I kind of was thinking when you were speaking about it earlier. I mean, I didn't really know too much shit about Moon Knight in general either, but I'm digging it so far. I think I'm on. I think I actually did finish episode 3. I was confused, but again, you clarified it earlier about like the difference between Mark and then Steven and the whole like how Moon Knight is summoned and everything. It took me a little bit to understand that, but I mean, yeah, it's cool. I did see like his old school kind of like outfit. I kind of wish they used that instead of this whole new one. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
You can't lie. You can't lie though. Like, not to cut you off, but you can't lie. I remember on the episode he was like, "What the fuck are we wearing?" Remember he was.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like I can't complain about it too much, but yeah, I mean overall it's a good series. I definitely think it's one of the better of the Marvel Disney Plus series. My favorite still right now is probably Hawkeye. But yeah, it's definitely a good one. And so if you haven't checked it out, or if you were skeptical about checking it out, definitely give it a chance. It's definitely worth watching.
Recommend that 5 stars. I in my opinion, and then come back on the podcast and give your feedback on it for sure. If you guys want any answers, questions to be answered, we definitely got you guys on that. Now, the only reason why I know it so well is because I did a lot of research on like who wrote it and basically just trying to grasp like what the actors were saying about it and stuff like that. So I did a lot of research on it. That's why I kind of like know some things about the show already. So for sure, I recommend the series. Take your time trying to figure it out if you want, and give my man a chance. And even check out the Marvel comic Marvel Unlimited. Check out his comic books on there because he's actually trending a lot. The first as soon as you open the app, his comic book is like right there. So check that out for sure if you're a comic book reader. And I think that concludes all of today's episodes. All topics. So what to expect on the CouchCrunch Game Room channel? I still got to finish up Kirby's playthrough. Again, I know I've been really behind on that. I've been super busy, but I'll definitely have all those playthroughs out to you guys as soon as I can. Ghostwire Tokyo as well. And we could finally announce our most latest channel name, because on the last episode we didn't know what to call it. So it's actually just called CouchCrunch Reactions. And like I said before, just to implement what this channel is going to be about, it's just us kind of just explaining, just kind of reacting to like any trailers, musics, anything that's trending right now or anything like that. Anything that's not politics, okay?
So if you guys have any music, videos, anything like that, we're pretty much not holding back on anything. Pretty much just want to do some reactions, just gain interest in a bunch of different things. So like if you guys have any recommendations, anything like that, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, just let us know.
Yes, sir. And again, I think that ends up today's episode, and we'll guys see you on the next one. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace.